Picture this. You finally do the responsible thing. You build a budget, track your spending, and systematically start putting money aside every single month. You feel incredibly good about it, responsible, disciplined, and financially mature. But then one day, you open your banking app and realize something strange. Your savings account has $10,000 sitting there, but it's only earning a disappointing 0.5% interest, which means after an entire year of hard sacrifice, you've made a tiny $50. Meanwhile, you keep hearing people talk about the levels of financial freedom and building real wealth. And suddenly, you start wondering, am I doing this wrong? Because saving money is a great first step, but saving alone rarely buys you true independence. The harsh reality is that most people believe financial freedom is just one giant, far-off goal. They think you are either trapped working a 9-to-5 or you are completely retired on a beach. But that black and white thinking is a trap. In reality, achieving true independence happens in 6 distinct stages. And here is the part nobody likes to discuss. What got you out of debt will not get you to wealth. The rules completely change at every single level. If you try to use the same financial strategies at level 4 that you used to survive level 1, you will completely paralyze your progress. You will watch your hard-earned money quietly evaporate to inflation while remaining completely stuck. So, if you have money sitting in savings but feel like you're running on a financial treadmill, you need to understand exactly where you stand right now. Let's look at the math for a second, because the numbers reveal exactly why your current approach isn't getting you closer to the upper levels of financial freedom. Imagine you manage to save a substantial $10,000 in cash. If you keep that money sitting safely inside a typical savings account, earning a standard 1% interest, it does its job of protecting your capital. After a full year of waiting, you will have exactly $10,100. It feels secure, but it's completely stagnant. Now let's compare that exact same $10,000 to what happens when you shift your strategy to a growth mindset. Historically, the broader stock market has returned an average of about 10% per year over long-term periods. If you take that same $10,000 and position it to earn a 10% annual return instead, you will finish year 1 with $11,000. At first glance, that $900 difference might not seem like a life-changing amount of money. It's certainly not enough to quit your day job or claim absolute freedom. But this short-term view is precisely where most people completely lose the game. They fail to realize that real financial transformation isn't about year 1. It's about the compounding math that completely reframes your future over time. Watch what happens when you stretch those same choices out across a 20-year horizon. If you leave that $10,000 in the 1% savings account, your balance after 2 full decades will crawl up to a disappointing $12,200. Inflation will have quietly chewed away its purchasing power, leaving you significantly poorer than when you started. But if you let that same $10,000 compound at a 10% rate for those 20 years, it skyrockets to about $67,000. This is the exact same starting amount of money, but it yields a completely different life outcome. The math shows us something profound that changes how you view wealth entirely. The biggest, most devastating wealth gap in modern society isn't actually between the people who save money and the people who recklessly spend it. The real chasm is between the people who just save and the people who ruthlessly invest. But here's the problem. Most people never make that transition to the upper levels of financial freedom. And the reason isn't logic, it's psychology. A traditional cash-heavy savings account feels safe, comforting, and predictable. Moving your money into an index fund or the broader stock market feels terrifying, volatile, and highly uncertain. When your money sits in a basic savings account, you can see it, control it, and touch it whenever you want. The balance never drops, so your brain interprets this stagnation as absolute security. But when you step up to level 3 or 4, and begin investing, the numbers move. Sometimes they move up, and sometimes they move down. And that emotional roller coaster scares people right back into their comfort zones. Psychologists refer to this emotional trap as loss aversion. Studies show that the psychological pain of losing $100 is twice as intense as the joy of making that exact same amount. This means we are biologically wired to protect what we already have, rather than pursue what we could realistically gain. When you look at your investment account and see it fluctuate, your primitive brain reacts as if you are facing a physical threat. It screams at you to stop, pull back, and retreat to the safety of cash. This exact emotional response is what keeps millions of people completely stuck on the lower tiers of the wealth ladder. They are trying to use logic to solve an emotional problem. To break through to absolute independence, you have to realize that true financial security isn't about avoiding short-term market movements. It's about conquering your own internal biology. If you cannot manage the emotional discomfort of watching your balance occasionally drop on paper, you will never experience the compounding growth required to change your life. To conquer that psychological barrier, you need a clear, objective roadmap. Financial freedom isn't a single massive leap. It's a structured journey through 6 distinct levels. Once you know exactly which level you are on, the rules change, your anxiety vanishes, and you know exactly what your next move must be. Level 1. Financial dependency. This is the starting line. At this stage, your expenses exceed or completely rely on outside help, whether that's debt, credit cards, or family support. The goal here isn't to build wealth, it's simply to achieve survival. Level 2. Solvency. You reach this stage when you can fully cover your commitment expenses on your own income alone, without relying on external support or accumulating new debt. You are living paycheck to paycheck, but you are standing on your own 2 feet. Level 3. Breathing room. This is where you build your first real buffer. You have accumulated 3 to 6 months of living expenses safely in cash. This is your emergency fund. It doesn't earn high returns, but it prevents an unexpected car repair or medical bill from knocking you back down to level 1. Level 4. Stability. At this tier, your high-interest debts are entirely erased, and you have transitioned from a pure saver to an active investor. Your money is consistently flowing into diversified assets. You aren't rich yet, but your financial foundation is completely secure. Level 5. Financial flexibility. This is where life gets interesting. You have enough invested that your assets generate passive income to cover your basic core survival costs like housing and groceries. You still work, but you no longer work out of desperation. You work entirely on your own terms. Level 6. Absolute independence. This is the ultimate peak. Your entire lifestyle, including luxury travel, hobbies, and generation-defining wealth, is completely funded by the compounding returns of your investments. Work becomes entirely optional, and true freedom is achieved. If I only showed you the rapid exponential upward curve of level 6, I'd be doing exactly what every biased financial guru on the internet does. They make it sound like moving through these 6 levels is a continuous, effortless, exciting thrill ride where you just buy an index fund and watch your net worth explode overnight. But if we are being completely honest with each other, the reality of building long-term wealth is actually the polar opposite. True investing is incredibly boring. The real secret to advancing through these stages isn't hitting a home run on a speculative asset, guessing the next trending stock, or finding a secret loophole. It is the unsexy, repetitive discipline of automating your contributions month after month, year after year, regardless of whether the market is up, down, or moving completely sideways. It means looking at your portfolio when the headlines are screaming about a global financial crisis and choosing to do absolutely nothing. It is a slow, quiet grind. If you're looking for the constant adrenaline rush of day trading, or the immediate validation of a flashy luxury lifestyle, you will almost certainly fail to reach financial flexibility. The math only works if you give it time, and time requires an incredible amount of patience. True financial freedom isn't an overnight event. It is a long-term discipline. Think of these 6 levels of financial freedom like a climbing wall. When you are standing at the very bottom, looking all the way up at level 6, the entire ascent looks incredibly intimidating, dangerous, and completely impossible. If you try to leap from the bottom straight to the absolute peak in a single jump, you will fall every single time. But a climbing wall isn't designed to be tackled in one giant leap. It's conquered by focusing entirely on the single handhold directly in front of you. If you are currently at level 1, trying to survive financial dependency, you don't need to worry about complex investment strategies or asset allocation. Your only job, your sole handhold, is reaching level 2 solvency by making your income match your expenses. If you are sitting at level 3 with a fully funded emergency fund, your next move isn't to buy a luxury car. It's to reach for level 4 stability by opening an investment account and consistently automating your contributions. You don't build a massive fortune by focusing on the destination. You build it by mastering the specific rules of the level you are currently standing on and having the discipline to reach for the next consecutive grip. At this point, you might be thinking, this all sounds great in theory, but you don't know my specific situation. I have an erratic income, unexpected expenses constantly pop up, or I simply don't have enough left over at the end of the month to even think about investing. And that is a completely valid objection. The truth is, nobody's financial journey is a perfectly straight line, and life rarely goes exactly according to plan. But here's the secret. You do not need a massive lump sum of money or a flawless, unchanging monthly budget to start moving up these levels. You just need to change your baseline target. If you cannot afford to put away hundreds of dollars a month to build an emergency fund or buy index funds right now, start with just $20. Automate a tiny, almost unnoticeable amount to transfer the exact day you get paid. By doing that, you are training your behavioral psychology. You are building the muscle of prioritizing your future self before you ever have a chance to spend that money on daily temptations. Once the habit is locked in and your income naturally grows over time, scaling up the numbers becomes effortless. So as we wrap up this roadmap, I want to leave you with one single question to answer honestly in the comments below. Which of the 6 levels of financial freedom are you currently standing on right now? And what is the exact single handhold you need to reach for next to level up? Drop your answer below. I read and reply to as many comments as I can to help you map out your next move. If this structured breakdown gave you a clearer perspective on your wealth journey, hit the like button and subscribe so you don't miss our next deep dive into the real math of finance. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next video.